Hey everyone, Realtor Dave here. Hope everyone had a great holiday season. You had a good end to 2010 and you're all refreshed and ready to go for 2011. What I want to do today is discuss my Calgary real estate predictions for 2011 and in doing so also discuss what happened in 2010. Being a year end, we see a lot of real estate stats, and one of the stats we've seen that's really tells the whole story about the Calgary real estate in 2010 is that we had our slowest year in terms of total sales since 2000. And for single-family homes, we had our slowest year since 1996. So you consider Calgary in 1996 and consider 2000, most of these buildings behind me, most of these buildings here wouldn't have been here. So despite the staggering growth Calgary's experienced since 2000, we actually had a slower year. And this speaks to the demand problems we had throughout the entire year. And unfortunately too, that doesn't really even tell the whole story, because if you remember back January, February, March of last year, we were extremely busy for seasonally adjusted values. And so despite this, we had an extremely slow year. And so if you look at from house prices since March of that year, so end of March, average home price is about $421. End of December just passed, they're at $389. So prices came down about 8-9%. And this doesn't even consider the fact that many people who sold their house in January, February, and March had to then buy in May, June, July, and this sort of ripple throughout the market. Really what it means is if someone bought a house March 31st, it's probably down about 12 to 15% right now. And that is a lot of money. It's a pretty staggering amount actually. Now that's the bad news. I want you to keep the bad news in mind as we go forward here. Because if you look at the predictions given by the experts, we actually find that many of them are really accurate. So this wasn't what happened, was actually predicted. I feel like the Canadian Real Estate Association and RE/MAX in particular, both these associations were actually about bang right on. Both of them are about 1% difference for the expected price to the actual price in December here. The Calgary Real Estate Board, we were about 2% too high. But you look at guys like Garth Turner, everyone gives him a lot of publicity. He was off by about 10%. He was off by about 40 grand, and that tells you what you need to know right there. So with that said, what's going to happen in 2011? Well, if we look towards the end of 2010, what we actually did see is we actually saw demand start to pick up again. In December of 2010, sales are down about 9% from the year before, and that's well above where we were in, say, August, June, July, when sales are down about 40 to 50% from the year before. So we're starting to see that demand rebound. However, we do still have huge supply problems, as in we have too much supply. And a lot of homes that didn't sell last year will probably come back on the market this year. And so until we get through all the supply problems, we will continue to see a downward pressure on prices. However, it's not going to be that bad, and it will probably only trend forward for about 4 to 5 more months. At that point in time, I do expect a lot of supply to be worked through, and we're going to start to see a bit of a leveling off of prices, and then obviously they'll start to rise in the summertime and into the fall. It's important to note, when we're discussing real estate stats, is you're going to see a lot of stats come out in January, February, March saying about how much house prices are down. And this is true, but remember when you hear that, remember how hot the market was in January, February, and March of last year. From December to December, home prices are only down about 2% in 2010, and you'll see about 5, 6, 7%, if not into the 10% as we get into March here. So when you see that, remember, there'll be a lot of fear in the market. Don't, keep in mind, what price of what really matters is month to month. And month to month we'll see a slight downward trend, but then we'll start seeing an upward trend in, probably June, I would say. So in terms of total prices, if I'm sitting here saying this time next year what our house price will be at, I'm actually predicting to be about 5% above where they were this time last year, probably 3 to 7%. So, if you're looking to buy right now, or if you're looking to sell, keep this in mind. So if you're looking to buy, now is a great time to doing so. I've been saying this the last 6 months, and it's been an ongoing story. It is still a great time to buy. If you buy now, you will end up doing very well. Because the one thing I am sure of is the Calgary economy. Oil is up above $90 a barrel again. We're getting to 2-year highs. And people are starting to move back to town with high-quality jobs. This will have an upward pressure on prices. So take satisfaction, even if you did buy in March 2010, your home price will be much higher 3 to 4 years down the road, and you'll be glad you bought. Alright guys, that's my sort of real estate predictions for the year. If you guys have any questions on this stuff, as always, give me a call, 403-990-1278, or through my website, www.calgaryconreport.com. And also, I do think you guys should pass this along to anyone looking to buy or sell in 2011, because I do think it's important everyone realize what's going to happen, because you will see a lot of shock in the first couple months, and people need to realize what's going on. Nothing major is going on. All right, guys, thanks a lot for a fantastic 2010. Thanks a lot for all the referrals we're getting, and I look forward to seeing everyone in 2011. Hope it's happy, healthy, and you guys are all doing great. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.